That's your testimony? That's why you're here today, to talk about a search that was involving Tim Hall?
Sustained, if you could.
So I apologize. Your testimony today is based on that search on August 23rd, right?
Correct.
Of 22, right? And you were working as a state police officer back then, right?
Yes, sir.
And were you attached to the Plymouth County DA's office, or were you working somewhere else?
I was assigned to the cybercrime unit.
And the cybercrime unit works with the DA's office in Plymouth?
The cybercrime unit's its own independent statewide unit.
So, in the sense that you're independent, it's still the district attorney and his assistant DAs that would reach out to the cybercrime unit and ask for help, right?
Or it could be the troopers assigned to the state police detective unit.
Joshua McElligott. He was the lead investigator on this case, right?
I assume so.
Okay. So you were tasked to analyze the computer, the Surface Pro computer, right?
Yes, correct.
And by all accounts, that was owned by Pat Clancy. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it was located in his office, right?
I don't know where it was located.
Okay. It's fair to say that when you analyzed the computer back in October of 2025, it was an investigatory role that you were using to locate potential evidence, right?
Correct.
And what is it you were looking for?
I was provided a search warrant with search terms, and that's as far as I knew of the case.
And what were the search terms?
I don't recall specifically, but they were spelled out in the search warrant.
So when you have search terms, you take a person's computer, and then what do? You access it through a device?
So I was provided the images. I never saw the physical computer.
So when you got the images, you were able to load them up onto your computer, I imagine?
Yes, we'll use a tool to help parse through that data. Correct.
And then as a result of that, you were able to plug in words that you could search for, right?
Yes.
For example, like suicide?
Suicide would be one.
Drugs?
I mean, I don't think that pertained in this case, but you could search.
Did.
That I don't recall the specific terms in the search warrant.
Okay. So after you did your search for whatever it is that you were looking for, suicide and you're unable to tell us what else you look for, but in any event, you came across this entry on August 23rd, and you indicated that the time frame that you're dealing with on that computer, the Surface Pro computer, was 9:40 in the morning. Is that right?
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah. You can look at your report too. I mean, if you have documents in front of you, do you have?
I do.
All right, so you can take a look at it. You have a document that's captioned matching results. Is that right?
I do not have that in front of me, but yes.
And would that be the search that you conducted?
Is that the magnet tool report?
I don't know what it is, and I got cataract surgery and I can handle this thing, so it's just, what is that?
This is the main page of the forensic tool.
Okay. And looking at the main page of the forensic tool, does it indicate the date is August 23rd?
That's in the inbox. This also doesn't. Which? Are we talking about this highlight here?
Yeah, but what does that indicate?
That's an inbox. That's not that.
All right, so what time?
Cooper, could you keep your voice up or make sure you speak to that microphone?
So that highlight is a bail inbox.
Okay. And that would be the HTTPS. And then underneath that, it makes reference to at some point that you were able to see that Lindsay or Lynn's Facebook account was accessed. And it wasn't even the account, it was actually the homepage, right?
Correct. It navigated to the Facebook person's account.
Okay. So that would tell us that that particular Facebook account was accessed, and then that conducted the search that you just testified to? At the next thing.
This does not have, this here does not have Facebook, does it?
All right, you can use this if you want. How about this next one? Does that have the Facebook? Does it?
This one does, yes,
Okay.
correct.
There you go, if you want to take a look at that.
Both of us.
Yeah, both of us. Blind.
Yes, that'd be right here.
All right. Thank you. Now, just before I leave, above that, does that also indicate, like, these two top, what are these two top lines?
That would be that was a CNBC web visit, which was typed in, and then there's a access to a Google Gmail account.
And whose
Inbox.
Google Gmail account was that?
That I don't know.
Because those two lines and references to the Google account were not in your report, right? You started off with the Facebook search, if you will.
Yes.
So you started off with Lindsay Facebook that was signed into the homepage on Patrick Clancy's Surface Pro computer, right?
So my tool report has all of the artifacts tagged as evidence.
Okay. So when you tag the actual data from the Surface Pro and the HP laptop as well, right?
Yes, correct.
And your October report back in was it 25 or was it 22?
25.
So, but nothing changes on the computers. I mean, whatever your searches are and your records don't change over the years, right?
No, as long as it's preserved in that state and the images of that computer will remain the same.
Okay, so, and it's fair to say that with this investigation, obviously, happening back in 2022, that the computers were hermetically sealed and stuck somewhere with an evidence locker to make sure that they're preserved, right?
Yes, that would be best practice.
Okay.
That would be correct.
So then in October of 25, the district attorney's office asked you to conduct a search of the computer, apparently. Is that right?
The trooper in the Plymouth State Police Detective Unit reached out.
And that would be McElligan, right?
No, it was not.
Okay. Do you know who it was?
Trooper Justin Paul.
Justin Paul.
Correct.
Okay. And as a result of that, you then prepared your report. And one of the things that you did is you noted that on August 23rd of 2022, at 9:40 and 08 seconds, that there was an access to the Lindsay Facebook account, right?
Oh, there was a visit to that page, correct.
Right. And then that page continued on to look for Tom Hall and Walking to Memphis or whatever and the songs, right?
Yes.
On Spotify?
Yeah, the song. Yes, after that was a Spotify.
And then the time frame of that would be that you went and went to a hyperlink that took them to methods of suicide. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, were there any searches on that computer for example, ways to kill?
No, there was not.
To your knowledge, and I understand that you might be stuck with what you investigated, but are you aware that there were any searches from Lindsay Clancy or Patrick Clancy on ways to kill? You ever heard that?
In my initial report back in October, that contains all of the evidence artifacts that I had tagged as evidence and provided, I did not come across that, no.
Right. So basically, what you are leaving with the jury would be that on that date of August 23rd, at approximately 9:40 in the morning, and then carrying forward with jumping from Tom Hall to the Wikipedia account to the underlined name, suicide, jumping to that page, that all occurred between 9:40 and, say, 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
Correct.
did you know, sir, that on August 23rd, prior to your report indicating the Facebook account, that Mr. Clancy signed in, and it was Mr. Clancy's email that accessed the Facebook account for Lindsay Clancy?
I did not.
And that was not included in your report, was it?
No, it was not.
And you know that the Clancys had 3 children, right?
I do not.
Well, you know that you were working on a case where Lindsay Clancy was the mother, and she was married to Patrick Clancy, right?
Correct.
And did you know, sir, that on August 23rd of 2022, that 2-year-old child was brought by Lindsay to South Shore Health for Dawson's ear recheck, that he had problems with congestion, but no complaints of ear pain, no fever? And that was on August 23rd, 2022, that he was examined at 10:15 in the morning.
I'm not privy to those facts.
So you don't know that Patrick Clancy's email signed into Lindsay Clancy's Facebook account. You're not aware of that, right?
It's whatever the default profile was signed into the Chrome browser.
And then that accessed the Facebook account, which looked up Tom Hall, the singer, right?
Yes, correct.
That then led to the Wikipedia talking about suicide.
That is
right?
correct.
Led to the Spotify talking about somewhere in Memphis, whatever the song was, right?
Yes.
And this was all occurring from 9:40 in the morning until, like I said, 10 o'clock thereabouts, right?
Correct.
You tagged actual data from the Surface Pro as well as the HP laptop, right?
I did.
And your October report contained searches from the Surface Pro, right?
Yes.
And you recall, for example, just a representative sample that, and this would be on the Surface Pro computer. Now we're jumping ahead to December 5, not August of 22, December of 22. One of the inquiries of the Google searches was what to do when a psychiatrist overprescribed, right?
Yes.
Searches for medications, right?
Yes.
Including Lamictal, right?
Correct.
Can bipolar disorder be temporary, right?
Yes.
Can benzos reveal bipolar disorder, right?
Yes.
How long are detox programs, right?
Yes.
What is DBT? I'm just saying that's a search. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I had to look that one up, too.
Okay. Lamictal versus it says Zolafy, but I would suggest it would be Zoloft. That was a search, right?
Yes, correct.
What is mania? It was a search, right?
Yes.
Ketamine for benzo withdrawal. January 18th of 2023 was a search, right?
Yes.
Ketamine therapy on January 18th of 2023, correct?
Yes.
Now, maybe not personally, but Steve Verino, who's also a gentleman who does what you do with computers and laptops and stuff, right?
Yes.
Now, you've worked on cases, and Steve, you recognize him right here, right?
Yes.
You know that Steve was working with me and Lindsay on accessing information from cell phones and computers, and he actually, through me, reached out about a month ago to the DA's office and raised some questions, correct?
I'm not privy to that.
Oh, well, the DA reached out to you about a month ago and asked you to revisit your investigation, and as a result of that, you created another report, didn't you?
I did.
And that would just be on July 26th of 26, right?
Yes.
And that was after the DA reached out to you, but didn't tell you it was because we had questions that Mr. Verino asked me to find out about, right?
Yes, I was not privy to that.
So as a result of dealing with the DA in July 26th of 26, you then prepared your report, and the purpose of that report was to find out more details, if you could, pertaining to the, quote, methods of suicide page, right?
Correct.
And in your July 26th report, you then went into detail about your findings, correct?
Yes.
And we would agree that that particular webpage was not a search for methods of suicide. It was actually the Tom Hall and the music, right?
That is correct.
And then the URL shows access to Lindsay's Facebook profile, correct? You accessed and found out that Lindsay's Facebook profile
Was a web visit.
right.
Yes, correct.
But you don't know that it was Lindsay that was actually using that computer to search for Tom Hall, right?
I don't know who was sitting behind that.
You don't know that Patrick Clancy plays the guitar, do you?
I do not.
You don't know that Patrick Clancy is a music aficionado, right?
I do not.
You don't know that Patrick Clancy enjoyed Tom Hall music, do you?
I do not know that.
And you certainly don't want to leave it with this jury that Lindsay was looking up ways to commit suicide in August of 22, do you?
All I'm presenting is the facts that were presented in front of me.
And a couple more questions, sir. When a user logs into their own Facebook account, it doesn't populate or bring you directly to the actual